it's all top-down social engineering, and it cannot exist unless you enforce it aggressively, which means it is antithetical to human nature. If this stuff was so innate, why do you have to force it down our throats? You know, capitalism doesn't need a movement.
Greg Gutfeld exposes the brutal truth about socialism and how capitalism continues to win. And the left isn't going to like this very much. Just watch.
And say, whoa, slow down.
It's not just that, though. You have a socialist denying that he's really a socialist, and it's a thing that is unique to the spectrum of the left, from the centrist liberal to the ultimate socialist. They always walk back their beliefs at every chance. You rarely hear a right-winger go, "Oh, I'm not that conservative." You never hear that. But how many times have you heard a liberal, Jessica, say, "I'm a liberal, but I'm not crazy like those nutbags"?
I'm not.
But it's like, it's because you kind of innately know that leftism is loony and out of step with mainstream thinking, that you have to go, yeah, I'm a little nutty, but I'm not that nutty. Meanwhile, we call, you guys call us Nazis, but we get rid of our Nazis. We don't push them into the Senate and hope they win. Right now, what I find is that, the DSA is saying exactly what they are to everyone. And they may be the most honest leftists about what they want. They're saying what they want to take over. They're saying what they want to tax. They're saying what they want to ban. And it reveals an essential truth about socialism, and I would say the slower socialism called Democrats, is that it's all top-down social engineering, and it cannot exist unless you enforce it aggressively, which means it is antithetical to human nature. If this stuff was so innate, why do you have to force it down our throats? Capitalism doesn't need a movement. Do you know what I mean? There's no Republican capitalist society. Socialism needs a movement because they need to force it. Capitalism, flaws and all, most resembles human behavior, which is where we live by incentives and disincentives. We like to trade, buy and sell goods. We need that. We'll give you this. That's how it works. Socialism has to aggressively tell you that this is superior because you won't buy it. I also think they're not just sick of socialism because we've heard enough about it now. There's still stuff lingering here that I think people have gotten tired of. It's the oppression politics. I think a lot of people who bought into it are now thinking that, boy, when I say I'm oppressive, I sound if I say that I'm being oppressed, I sound like a real wimp.
Gutfeld absolutely nailed it. We're tired of the identity politics and the victimhood of quote-unquote oppression. And Greg made a really good point by asking the question that no one on the left seems to have an answer for. If socialism is really so great and so wonderful, then why are they trying to force it on people? Because it's really sad to see people say they support socialism or believe that socialism is what America needs. But as soon as they get asked how they would feel about giving or sharing their own things, they kind of back up and say, no, that's not right. I worked for this. Kind of like the same thing with immigration. They're all for immigration, but no one will open their own doors. So yeah, I absolutely agree when Greg says this is all social engineering. It almost seems like brainwashing, and when the brainwashing doesn't work, they have to try and redefine their message with slogans like this.
Senate candidate Abdul El-Sayed telling Axios, "I'm the most America First candidate in the country, proudly." Really? So does America First mean getting rid of the people who are actually protecting America?
ICE cannot be reformed. ICE cannot be retrained. ICE has to be abolished.
Does America First mean comparing our allies to terrorists?
You said the Israeli government is evil. Do you think they're just as evil as Hamas?
Yes, killing tens of thousands of people makes you pretty damn evil. It's not how evil is this one versus that one. Hamas, evil. Israeli government, evil. We could say both.
Does America First mean wrecking our healthcare system by turning it over to the federal government to run?
Guarantee every single American health care through Medicare for all. I think it is high past time that the billionaires get taxed on their wealth.
So now a member from the same political movement that's been pushing for bigger government and more government control is claiming to be the most America First candidate in the entire country. Can you believe that? I mean, seriously, how can someone claim to be America first while supporting ideas that literally go against the foundation America was built on? How does that make any sense? You can't be America first and want to abolish America's borders. You can't be America first and want to abolish every institution that keeps the American people safe. And you can't be America first and want to replace the Constitution, the Senate, and the presidency. All the things that were put in place by our founding fathers to protect us, the American people, from the very thing they're trying to do. And let's just be real for a second. No one with any common sense can actually believe these people are America first. Yeah, it's a catchy slogan, and they know it, and that's exactly why they're using it. It's nothing more than a political rebrand. After spending so much time criticizing America and our traditions, attacking our institutions, and pushing policies that would only weaken our country, they don't get to suddenly throw on an America first label and expect everyone to forget what they really stand for, unless they truly believe the American people are stupid. America first is about creating, protecting, and strengthening what already works. But these people seem more interested in tearing things down and promising to fix it. And we all know destroying things is the easy part. It's the building of something that takes actual leadership. It's easy to take and hard to make. And since when did taking more power away from individuals and giving it to politicians become the definition of freedom? You see, socialism depends on control. It requires higher taxes, more regulations, and a lot of government enforcement to make people participate. And that, for me, is where Gutfeld's point hits home. If socialism is such an amazing system, why does it always need to be pushed? Why does it have to be sold? And why does it have to be enforced? I'll tell you why. Because people naturally want choices. We want opportunities, and we want the ability to benefit from our own hard work. That's why capitalism continues to succeed in every aspect. Because, like Greg said, it just works. It works with human nature instead of trying to control it. You see, it's easy to spend other people's money and promise everyone something. But the hard part is actually creating the wealth and opportunity. And history has shown us over and over again what happens when governments take too much control. The problem isn't that socialism hasn't been tried enough. The problem is it's been tried again and again and again. But then again, that's just my opinion. I would love to know your thoughts on this in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a like and please consider subscribing to the channel. Your support is truly appreciated. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.